What's happening, boxing? What's happening, YouTube? Amp, bout that boxing. Man, we got more drama. More drama in boxing. We can't stay away from it. We already got a duck situation happening, and Fundora just got the title over the weekend, and we already have duck situations going. In his post-fight interview, Fundora was talking about how he wants legacy. He wants to fight the people like Crawford and Errol Spence and whoever else, wants it at 154.
My question to you is: the WBO orders you to fight Crawford next, or you'll be stripped. Under any circumstances, will you vacate the WBO belt to fight Errol Spence?
Whatever they give me, Errol Spence is a great opportunity. I think it's a match made in heaven. But Terence Crawford is the best fighter in the world. I would like to fight him.
But now, Samson Lukowicz comes out and basically contradicts everything that was said. He's saying that Terence Crawford is trying to overprice himself and he wants more money than the champ to get in the ring with him. But if you guys listen to this interview, and the interview that he did was on the Boxing Voice, shout out to the Boxing Voice. They asked him all the right questions. They was definitely pressing him. And this guy was contradicting himself, man. He was stepping all over his own feet. First, he makes the crazy allegation that Terence Crawford should wait. He should fight Ennis.
All right. And I'm paraphrasing here, not quoting you directly, but you said, Crawford has to wait. David Benavidez is waiting. Crawford can wait like he made others wait. Are you speaking of Jaron Ennis?
I will say that the most honorable for Crawford is to fight Ennis. That is the truth.
If your guy, which he said, claiming that Fundora's like the A side and he's the star because he has the belt and everything, this guy just won a belt, and he won a belt through controversy because, yes, it was an accidental cut, but had not the cut been there, I say 90% of people think that Tim Tszyu would have beat his ass if he didn't get cut. This is what most people think. Now, I was giving him, Fundora some credit, but I did not realize, I forgot that Samson Lukowicz was his promoter, same guy that does David Benavidez. It starts to make sense after a while, you know what I mean? These guys don't want Terence Crawford doing anything. Lukowicz goes on to say things like, basically that Terence Crawford should have signed with PBC, or, or he's going to need to sign with PBC if he has any hopes of getting in the ring with Fundora. Then he goes on to say that Terence Crawford is the best boxer in the world, but he's just not marketable. He doesn't have that spark or that pizzazz like, say, a Floyd Mayweather or a Canelo who's trying to be in Floyd Mayweather's blueprint. And this is all according to Lukowicz. Now, the worst part of this is that y'all used Terence Crawford's name to sell this fight. Y'all used his name to sell Tim Tszyu and Fundora, based on the fact that Terence Crawford had activated his WBO super status to fight the winner between Tszyu and Fundora. And y'all knew this, and y'all used this man's name to sell y'all fight. Now y'all want to back out. Y'all trash as hell. I really don't like this dude. I don't like the way he handled this. At first he said he didn't even listen to the offer. So how do you know what Terence Crawford wants if you didn't listen to the offer? He literally says that he just woke up. He didn't have time to he didn't even want to hear the offer because his fighter's injured right now. So he don't want to even talk business. But supposedly, they're already in negotiations with some other fighter.
And he have no problem with the weight, but he's looking for money. You want to fight Canelo for money, a payday. And that, I don't know if he will get a payday with Fundora.
He says Crawford just wants Canelo for a payday. It's not legacy. This doesn't make sense. How is Canelo considered great, but he's not a legacy fight for Terence Crawford? You see how these guys double talk? They do anything to keep that guy from being in the ring with Terence Crawford, including trying to side butt things to another fighter. If your fighter's supposed to be so great, first of all, why would you say any other fighter is the greatest fighter in the world over your fighter? He should have said David Benavidez Or he could have said Fundora if that's how he feels. But you don't say that another fighter is the greatest fighter in the world. You know what I'm saying? So this already lets y'all know that he considers Terence the greatest in the world. So they don't want to fight him yet. They just got the belt. Okay? They just got the belt. Fundora's coming off a knockout loss and gets a belt. Okay, he had to change his whole strategy to win this, even though the guy that he was fighting was severely injured. You know, he was cut really bad. You know, this fight really, Tim Tszú's corner really should have just stopped this fight before the third round. They should have stopped this fight second round, did the no contest, come back and do it the right way. It wouldn't have made Tim look no type of way because the cut was one of those cuts that's just going to keep on running. This has me upset that this guy's trying to say that Terence Crawford is boring. He compared him to Devin Haney, and he says that it's not going to make money.
I honestly, I believe that the style of Crawford is not likable like Haney. You know, it's about the same level, and he will not sell.
Wait, Samson. He just got 3 knockdowns and a knockout in his last fight, and he's on an 11 fight knockout streak.
Is he serious? A guy coming off an 11 knockout streak who's considered the best fighter in the world according even to Lukowicz? How is he not going to sell by fighting Fundora? Yes, it will sell. Anybody that Terence Crawford fights right now that's supposed to be somebody is going to sell. All right. He's trying to say that, oh, well, you know, Fundora has a natural talent, a natural gift of being 6'5 and a half, 6'6", whatever he is. And, you know, that spectacle alone is going to draw an audience or draw a crowd. No, it's not. He's been that size already and he wasn't drawing no crowd. What did he sell? What did him and Tim Tszú even sell? He's coming at Crawford talking about sales. What in the hell has Sebastian sold? It's crazy to me. The stuff these guys will do to avoid fighting Terence Crawford. And I'm going to explain to y'all why. Y'all probably see the post that's been popping up here and there. I got some social media messages between De La Hoya and Terence Crawford where they're basically disagreeing on the fact that boxers should have more input on what's going on in the fight game. They should be sitting at the table when negotiations is happening instead of just having, you know, they're basically flying an autopilot and trusting somebody else to make choices for them. And De La Hoya kind of goes against that and says, yeah, nah, you hear, I disagree with you, you know, Terence Crawford, that you should just find great representation to represent you. Well, there's only three or four people in boxing right now that are the promoters. So if you're not with them, they're going to give your ass a hard time. This is basically what Lukowicz is saying, is that if you're not running with one of us, PBC, Matchroom DAZN, Bob Arum Top Rank, or Golden Boy with Oscar De La Hoya, then you're not getting business. We're going to squeeze you out. We're not going to let you make money off of our situation or off of us without being with us. So basically, he's clearly saying that he's going to duck Terence Crawford. If you listen to the whole interview, he says that he's going to have Sebastian Fundora duck Terence Crawford indefinitely unless the WBO strips him or whatever. That's the only way that Terence is going to get the fight for that belt. And he's like, then who is he going to fight for it? And what type of money is it going to make? Who's going to pay for it? Like, these are the allegations and the situations being presented by Lukowicz. I don't like this guy. I don't like this guy. He says that Crawford doesn't want the legacy. He just wants money. Well, he wants some big money fights. And ain't legacy fights big money fights? I mean, that's so contradictory. This dude's saying on one end that Terence just wants money fights, but the money fights are legacy fights. Most fights that are legacy fights are the type that people are going to pay to see because it's a fucking legacy fight, you idiot. This dude's an idiot. These are the guys that we have controlling and running boxing. This is why boxing is going down the tubes. Man, my pop said he don't even watch it no more. He just goes and catches the end and see who won. My dad's favorite fighter right now, one of them is Isaac Pitbull Cruz, Isaac Pitbull Cruz. So, you know, he said he didn't even know Pitbull fought until I told him about it because he just don't keep up with the sport no more because it's so set up and so phony and so trash. This is coming from somebody who used to buy every pay-per-view. We'll be at his crib every single weekend when there was some pay-per-views jumping off. Now he doesn't even watch the sport. That's what's happening. This sport is becoming phony and set up looking. And it's just trash to me. It's trash to me that they got these guys, these promoters out here. Oscar De La Hoya talking about pick somebody to represent you. You know what? You represent yourself first, though. You rep you first. You see what I mean? So in other words, if you're a promoter, what's your job? Your job is to promote fighters, right? Then why are these fighters being pressed to promote themselves? And, oh, well, you're not doing enough for, for your image and for, that's your job. You should be making my image be what it is. You think every single boxer was marketable coming up? You think every fighter was marketable? So they just, he's not marketable, so we're just gonna, we're not gonna let him fight, even though he's the best dude ever. Y'all sound ridiculous. This all sounds ridiculous. He says Fundora won't be ready for any action until November, possibly December, according to Lukowicz. We'll have to see. But Fundora needs to step up and speak for himself if he really wants these challenges. That's what he's saying. Lukowicz is saying basically it's got to be a 50-50 split with Fundora being the A side and all that. Now, the point that I'm making is, why do you care if it's 50-50 if the fight ain't going to sell? This is another contradictory ass statement by Lukowicz, man. This dude is saying anything to defend his point that they should not have to fight Terence Crawford. I just don't believe in it, y'all. I don't believe in it. I don't believe in all this money shit that's messing up the fight game. This is greedy promoters. Didn't they have a shady promoters or something with Ice Cube and Mike Epps or something like that? Shady promoter. This is shady promotion right here. All these promoters, they shady because they out for themselves first. If they can't make them and the person who's actually putting the front money up the type of money that they want to make, they're not going to make these fights. And they're not going to make these fights unless they're pay-per-view because they feel like that's the only way the fight's going to make some real money, which is completely idiotic. I'm going to say it once again. Boxing needs a complete makeover. And I'm talking from the boxing organizations, the WBC, WBA, IBO, IBF, all that. All this shit needs a rework. It all needs a rework. Fans need to demand a rework. And stop taking it in the culo, man. From these promoters, these shady ass promoters that really only care about themselves. I will give Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy this credit. They do throw a lot of fights. In Arizona, they stay throwing fights. So every fight's not a pay-per-view. They stay throwing fights. So Golden Boy does really throw fights for the lower, underrated fighters and the fights that have not made it in the game yet they still coming up. Golden Boy does throw a lot of events like that, so I'll give them props. Top Rank throws several fights that are not pay-per-view fights. But then you come down to the PBC now, and we got all these fighters that's basically on hold, on pause, because they're working with Prime, and it doesn't seem like Prime's just going to put out regular fights. It's only going to be pay-per-views, and this is what I'm talking about. Every fight is not a damn pay-per-view event. It's just not. Even if there's championships on the line, it's not always pay-per-view worthy. And damn sure ain't worth no $80, $90. Anyway, man, like, subscribe, hit the notifications. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Go check out the interview. Like I said, I just only had little small clips. This guy was saying all kind of weird stuff, man. He was talking about Tim Tszyu. No, there was no loser in the ring that night. Tim Tszyu, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, because y'all won. Y'all won off that cut. That's why you're going to think, oh, yeah, Tim Tszyu, he's an honorable fighter. No, Tim Tszyu had a dumbass corner that should have stopped this fight. Got the no contest, came back and did it the right way later on this year. Come back with the rematch. Now, he's saying that he still wants Tim Tszyu to get the rematch, that he deserves it, and he does. It's just, I'm pretty much done with it, man. I'm done with it. These guys are ruining the sport of boxing. These promoters are the reason why boxing is falling through. The organizations are basically bought and sold. The judges are basically bought and sold. And it's just the real deal. That's what it is. That's why we've had so many disappointing decisions If you let it go to the judge's hands, we've had so many really horrible decisions over the past 3-4 years, man. It's just been getting worse and more in your face and slapping you more in the face. And it's because of guys like this, guys that double talk and devil talk, you know, duck, 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 duck. You know what I'm saying? That's why I put, you know, on the thumbnail what I put. When it comes to Terence Crawford, duck, duck, goose, duck, duck, goose. That's what they have to say. Duck, duck, goose. Oh, go fight Ennis, who's right now trying to fix his situation. He's got court case going on right now trying to fix his situation with, you know, his management and stuff that was going on with him, where he felt like he was, you know, misguided in his career. And that's why his resume is what it is. It's not a very good resume because of the people around him basically giving him cakewalk work instead of giving him real work throughout the entire time that he's been fighting. You know, this man wants to smoke, and I understand him wanting to go at Terence Crawford and all that, but come on, bro, you at 147 where Terence, he's still holding straps there, so he can definitely get down to the weight. Why else would he be holding straps at 147 if he doesn't plan to do any type of defenses? So, you know, Jerron Boots Ennis, they're claiming it's going to be money in the fight and all this, but Terence Crawford ain't a draw, so why do y'all keep trying to push him? Wherever y'all push him, he's not going to be a draw if he's supposedly a boring fighter with 11 knockouts in a row. We need a lot more boring fighters. We need a lot more 11 knockout in a row ass fighters, dude. We need a lot of boring fighters in this sport if Terence Crawford is boring. This dude is out of his mind, man. This dude is a promoter. All he's trying to do is save Fundora from a true ass whooping. And in that rematch, Tim Tszyu need to come 120%. Watch out for them sharp ass knife elbows and beat this dude down, man. And he need to beat this dude down because it didn't look good. So now, you know what I'm saying? I got to root for Tim Tszyu. Like I said, I was trying to give Fundora credit. And I'm not going to take it all away from Fundora yet. I want to hear what he has to say. Because in the end, no matter what these promoters say, it really is up to the fighter who he wants to fight. But this just all looks rigged and looks very set up, man. The boxing game looks really set up now, man. Worse than ever. Worse than ever, man. WWE 2.0. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think, man. That's all I got for this one, man. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification, share the content, man. Amp about that boxing.